Welcome everybody, it's Gull Khan here, your money mindset expert, and I help entrepreneurs to break free from the limiting beliefs, to reverse the money shame, and to blast through the money blocks so that they can live a life of unlimited abundance. And today I have the pleasure and the honor of introducing one of my clients from the Mastermind Millionaire Mindset Mastermind, who is also an awesome coach. Her name is Shannon. Garrison Nike. I'll probably mispronounce it. She'll probably tell me a million times, but I always forget. I'm pretty bad at names, so my excuses. Nobody gets my name right anyway. It's okay. So welcome, Shannon. How are you, my lovely?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for having me.
So Shannon, tell us who you are and what do you do and why do I love you so much?
So I'm Shannon Garrison Negi. You said it right.
Oh, great.
It is Indian name, so I feel like I should know how to say your name too. I am a former corporate finance executive, so hence why why you and I were attracted to each other, because we both come from that corporate world.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago, I left corporate and have gone on a journey to embrace being an entrepreneur. I knew that I wasn't in the right place where I was, and I had to do something else. So I had started in network marketing.
Mm-hmm.
My business was not where I thought it should be. And that has led me on this journey through working with multiple business coaches last year, learning how to be in the online space, and really stepping into helping the network marketing mom whose business is stuck and stagnant. She's burned out of her 9-to-5 and she needs help. She needs strategy, she needs clarity, and she needs confidence to show up on social media. So that's my specialty. We met, I think last November.
Yeah.
Around.
Yeah.
Feels like a long time ago already.
I know, it seems like a lifetime.
I've known you forever, but I think that's the beauty of going through a program like yours. So Go and I met literally, I think, on a post that I had posted in one of the big giant groups that I try to avoid most of the time, for the record. And I immediately knew there was a connection there.
Yeah.
I think we jumped on a call. We jumped on a coffee chat, by the way, because I'm like, oh, she's into money. Like, we should definitely talk. And there was something I knew immediately. You read me almost immediately. And that was one of those things I'm going, oh my God, I don't even know her. How does she know things like that? And from there, we did another one of your calls to see if we were going to be a good fit to work together. And for me, where I was at that time was I had all the strategy. I know how to run a business. I've been doing it for almost 20 years. That was not my issue, but I didn't know what the issue was. I knew there was something that was blocking me, that was in my way. And as you and I started working together and just going through, listen, none of us want to go back to the past and deal with the stuff that we've grown up with. But I'm going to tell you right now, you have to if you're going to move forward. I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, I thought I had dealt with a lot of things. Yeah, no, I had not dealt with most things. And I knew pretty much right away that after meeting you that I was going to work with you. And when you announced your program and told me all about it, I just knew, I'm like, this is it. This is the thing. I was like, I'm either working with you or I'm going to therapy, or both.
I remember you said that.
I'm like, I'm going to pay for one or the other. So I opted to go with you, obviously. I think it's very important to work on ourselves. I think so many entrepreneurs, as you learn and grow, you get in this stuck position. You don't understand what the problem is. And we don't tend to think about, oh, I'm blocking myself.
Yeah.
And it's usually something from our past or something we've learned, or, and money mindset is everything. I mean, I'm a CPA. That's my whole life has been built on numbers, and you don't even realize how much extra work you have to do to get rid of some of the limiting beliefs, to really clear the stuff that it's in your subconscious. You don't even realize that it's blocking you from abundance and from all of these things that you want, right? Yeah. You just think, oh, I got to go learn a new strategy, or, maybe I need to change my niche, or maybe I need to do this. And we're always working around the real problem. And that's been part of what your program has done for me. I'm still talking and I should probably let you ask another.
No, that's great. So that's where you were. So you were, that's perfect. You just said it absolutely perfectly. So most people come to me. I don't teach, I'm not a business coach. I don't teach anything to do with business, because I believe anybody who's coming to me, because I attract my clients, they already have the strategy, they are experts in their areas, and they are absolutely literally on the verge of exploding the business, but somehow the other they're being pulled back, and then they can't let go, and they can't even see, they kind of have a blind spot, they can't see where they're blocked out. And I think, well, I know all the strategies, I have all the tools, I have the determination. Why am I not getting further? Why can't I just fly? Why am I stuck on the cliff? And that's where I come in and I sort of push you over the edge, literally.
I didn't know what it was. I knew there was something. I didn't know what it was though. And that was exactly like, I just knew I operate very much like you on vibe, and seriously, I tell my clients that too. I'm like, trust yourself.
Yeah.
If you feel like somebody's a good fit for you, then go do it.
Yeah.
Go do something you feel uncomfortable with, because I've been there too, and that doesn't ever work out.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's where you were before the mastermind came into play. So what happened after the mastermind? Now, you've been doing this for about 6 months, and your results are absolutely astonishing. They're fabulous, and they're exactly where I thought they would be. But you know, you really are doing amazingly well. So please do share. So what happened after these side mastermind?
It's a journey. It's a process.
It is.
I mean, we go through this. I think a lot of us, you know, when we started, it gets uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden you got to start looking at, you know, all of the things that you maybe didn't want to deal with before. And I think that's a huge part of it. I mean, you have to be ready, obviously, to step into a program like you, because otherwise it really won't work. But
absolutely, it
also takes consistent effort. And I think you always taught us that. I mean, listen, I wasn't always the best, to be honest. I'm not always the best at making sure I write down every day what Gull tells us to do, and go back and write the list and write your forgiveness letters. But as I would come back to things and be like, okay, I'm going to work on this week. And I think one of the biggest ones for me in this process is I had been doing everything along the way and doing what we're told, and we meet weekly and we do calls, and it's great. And it's also having the community of all of us kind of going through this process at the same time is really amazing. But when we did Toxic Money, that was literally like the next day, our client paid in full. I swear it was like 2 days later or something like that. And I feel like it's the natural progression of clearing everything out, and you got to get to the right thing. Maybe we don't all have mom problems. We might not all have, you know, the dad situation, you know, so everybody's in a different place. So when you get to the peak, you've gone through the process, you've cleared out whatever junk is there before, right? Cleared out all the pieces. And when you finally get to the right one, I literally feel like that's the one for me. It was the Toxic Money. I literally talk about the Toxic Money piece with almost all of my clients now. Yeah. Because they're all in a place where they either, you know, they're missing a piece of the strategy, but they also, mindset comes into play, I feel like, for everyone.
Absolutely.
So now I really feel like when we kind of went through that, and it was, I think we did Toxic Money in April.
Yeah, it was a week. It was in April.
I think it was April. And I had also, you know, I, who preach about needing to niche down, had been afraid to talk about a piece of my niche, which was the network marketing piece. Once I flipped that and we went through that exercise, it is like open the floodgates, literally. Clients coming out of the woodwork. It's also consistent action, right?
Of course.
All of us showing up, and you too. It's like, I've seen you as things have started to go this year. Like, we're all in a different place than we were 6 months ago. And it's because we're doing the work.
Yeah.
And, you know, and this was a huge part of it. I mean, there's no way I would be where I'm at if I hadn't been in this program. That's for sure.
Oh, thank you. And I agree. I mean, this is not the first time that I've heard this. And that's why, by the way, the program is designed the way it is. The reason why I do Toxic Money in that time, you know, when you understand, when you do the work, it's positioned in that week for a reason, because we have to do the pre-work beforehand. You may or may not have a mum issue or dad issue, but generally there is maybe something hidden which we have to remove first before we get to Toxic Money. And that's why, I mean, I had one of the clients in previous times, literally she didn't earn anything for 2 years, and throughout the program she wasn't earning much, but we hit Toxic Money, and within 1 week she earned 41, I think it was 41 or 42,000 in a week, which was crazy money. But but like you said, it's consistent action, turning up every single week, participating and doing the work. There's no point, there's only so much I can do, there's only so much we can do with the clearings. You have to take consistent action. But what the beauty of it is, when you do a program like this, you get literally pretty much get out your own way. So instead of being tiresome and hard work doing the consistent action, it becomes easy, and then you get in tune with your passion, and then you want to do it. You know what you're doing. You understand your why. Like, I'm helping all these people. I want to help more people. How can I help more people? It's that mindset change as well. What happens? Do you agree?
And that's, as much as I knew. I knew. It's like, you know, all those things.
Yeah.
I was always, there's a reason I'm still here. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to keep struggling until something happens, right? But I knew I was in the right, but now it's like, it's almost like the light is so bright, you can barely see, and everything. It's like, I want to show up. there's fire, there's this, there's this, oh my gosh, I've never been so sure I'm in the right place.
Yeah.
Ever. And to be able to have some of these tools too, like now I've been learning, obviously I don't do the clearings like Gull, let me tell you, nor probably do I want to, because I'm not sure that would be, but
it's pretty intense. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty intense, but understanding why you may have those blocks or why, and being able to see it in my clients now, because I understand what are some of the pieces, and being able to help them, kind of get through some of that stuff without having to go through a total clearing, even though I'm like, listen, if you need help in this direction, you need to go talk to Gull, because it's amazing. You'll never go wrong. But it's that thing, being able to then recognize it and help people through it, and, understand, like I told one of my clients, like she needs to go write a letter of forgiveness the other day and go burn it. And it's a new moon. So write down your intentions and really be ultra clear. It's like adding in some extra pieces to it. Like I'm not just all about strategy. And it's funny, I tell some of my clients, I'm like, listen, you're going to have to go take massive action. Okay. You're going to go have to do the things. That's how you're going to get the results. And I'm going to give you the tools to get there, whether they're mindset tools, website tools, whatever they are. But yeah, this is really the whole process of getting here. And, and we're not done. Obviously we're done with the clearings at where we're at in the program, but we're still all together for the rest of the year. And guys, it's super duper powerful. And that's why I jumped in. I knew that I needed something like this. It's where I was at. And I think that's important for people to realize, like, stop beating your head against the wall. If you think it's strategy or whatever, like if it's not working, you got to really evaluate where are you at and what do you need in your business. Yeah. And that's like my people are at the beginning of their journey, their business hasn't grown. So they're looking for strategy, right? Yeah. At some point I told them, I said, they're going to migrate and they're going to morph and they're going to change. And then they're going to need something else in their business. And it may not be me. It may be me. It may be you. Mm-hmm. It's just, you just have to be in tune with that kind of thing. And I think that's, the beautiful part. You get us in a place where now we're way more aware of things that come up, how we, things that trigger us, and having to go back and rewrite, if I have to go back and write another letter of forgiveness this year, then I'll do it, right? It's just understanding the pieces.
Yeah, when you level up, you do need to readdress a few issues, because if you haven't leveled up to the level that you want to, right, there's probably a new layer that's come up that you have to address, and it's fine. That's part of the growth process that we have, right, and you've done as much work as you can during that time. So that brings me beautifully to the clearing part. Now, my clearings are very unique, and it's a very unique modality. I don't know many other people who do it the way I do it. So how did you find the clearings? And we both speak very fast, so that's okay. But my modality specifically is around, using the tone of my voice, the words, and the speed at what I talk, the words I'm speaking at. But it's all, but I specifically tell you not to pay attention to my words, because yeah, which is difficult. I know, and initially. So how did you find the actual clearing part, the woo side of it?
I mean, honestly, I love that part of it. I love our manifestation weeks, but the clearing part, I just always feel so refreshed after. Yeah. I feel like it's that thing where once you start doing it, you don't want to not be there for it. And it's always like making sure you show back up to finish. If I couldn't be on live, or I did some of them on the plane sometimes. And like, I remember the dad clearing. I obviously knew I needed to do it more because I fell asleep twice.
Yeah.
So, you kind of start to feel yourself, like, you start to really tune into what you need. And I love when you do the clearings. I think they're always really intense.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it's also being open to it too, and allowing yourself to just relax. It's hard to not listen to your words. Like, I definitely always kind of struggled with that. I had to really force myself to go to a beach somewhere in my head, the beach while Gull's doing her thing, and just let it go, because as much as it sounds crazy and it is very woo-woo, it really does work. Whatever you're doing works, okay? I don't pretend to understand how it works, but it works. I'm telling you.
It definitely works, and it is very, very powerful. That's why I always say, that it is powerful, but you just have to be, like you said, open to it, and just allow the process to take place, because it's just, there's so many different layers, and if I wanted to explain it, we'll be here till the cows come home. It's a long process. You just accept it. It works.
I don't know if you could explain it in a way that would anyone
would understand it fully. Yeah, I'm not really sure how much of it I fully understand. I just know it works. And I know that the way I tune in, and because most of the time I'm using my higher guides and my higher self, and I'm channeling the clearings anyway. So I don't even know half the time what words could have come out. When I go back and listen to the clearings, I'm like, what did I say? Oh, okay. Because there's no connection between my consciousness and the words, because the speed I speak at is just absolutely crazy. So for that reason, for sure, it's not an easy process, for me to even understand what I'm saying half the time. But then I've now got to the stage where I can allow myself to trust my higher self to come in, channel the clearing through. And when I listen back, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And half the time I've sort of picked up somebody's feelings without even knowing. And that's the beauty of this, this energetic work. And it's amazing. The whole scenario is quite amazing.
Yeah, no, and that's what I say about it. I'm like, I don't really know how to explain it. I just know that it's amazing and it works. And yeah. I just feel like a different person than I was 6 months ago.
That's amazing.
In the best way, right? Like, not like, oh my gosh, you changed so much. It's just like, I don't care what people think. I'm just in a place where I'm so confident and comfortable in what I bring to the table and what I offer. And that's really been the hugest piece, from doing all of these things and really stepping into my power. Now my business is starting to explode. And that's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
Get out your own way. And you allow yourself to, yes, we've all struggled, right? We've all struggled. I mean, I didn't make any money last year, and now I'm starting to finally be able to talk about that and be comfortable talking about that. Like, I didn't make any money last year, and it's to go from making multiple six figures like I was to then making, a few $1,000s because my network marketing business was just hanging out and, generating like a random amount of money, but not enough to live on. Let's be clear. I swear my husband sometimes is like, so we're going to make money at some point, right? Like, what's the deal? Nobody wants to give up their lifestyle. Don't get me wrong. We have an amazing life. And that's, for me, I think, been the hard part. And I know that's why I was having money mindset issues and blocks and all those things, because I come from a different place. Like, I didn't come from being a stay-at-home mom. I had always worked. I'd been making multiple six figures. And then I went to making zero. It's like a little bit of a beating on your ego, right?
It does.
Like, I knew I was on the right path, and I knew that, and I knew I wanted to do this. I just really hadn't put all the pieces together. And I think that's really what this last 6 months has been all about. So yeah, I couldn't be more excited for, us being able to spend the rest of the year together. And as I know we're going to open, you're going to open up the group, right? And have more people join us, which will be amazing. Yeah. It's, you guys, I can't say enough. If you're watching this and you've been even the slightest bit curious, you need to get with you.
Thank you so much. I mean, I remember having this discussion with you back in November, and when I said, look, it's just the person that you grow into, the kind of person you grow into, because you have to grow into this person, by the way. It's a growth process. But that is what is important. Money is something which is a given. Money comes. And I've been so sure about, like, money's just going to come. That wasn't important. It's just the person you become. And that is, when I look at you, and I'm super, so proud of who you are. And even myself, like, I was so, I was privileged and honored to be able to facilitate this to happen for you. That is the beauty when you just look back and think, oh my God, look where I am now. And you've grown so much. And obviously money is pretty much the side thing. It comes as a side effect anyway of your growth and of who you are and what kind of clients you attract, and kind of, when you get out of your own way, money just pours in. And you've proved that beautifully.
That was a hard part for me too. It's like to let that go. Because listen, there's been plenty of hard months in the last year, right?
Yes.
And I think hard is relative, right? Like, we're still fine. We have, I have more things in this house than most people have in their life, right? But it's, having to worry that, can I pay this bill or can I do that? And go through those things. It's like letting that go and not worrying about the money piece of it was very hard for me. That's just not the way that I used to operate. And, I correct my husband all the time when he makes comments about money, and I'm like, stop that, you can't talk like that. Literally.
Yeah.
Stop talking like that. Like, you're gonna be over there and I'm gonna be over here with all the money. Okay? But it's just really like reworking your whole mindset around all of it, and that's the beauty of what you do, really.
Yeah. It is, and thank you so much. Exactly, that is what I do. So let's talk about something else which is unique to the mastermind. So the mastermind has two sides. There's a clearing part when you actually are giving the clearing, and going forward, the way it's going to be, you're going to be how you get every 2 weeks you'll have a new clearing released. You have 2 weeks to go through the clearing multiple times, and then in every other way, every alternative week, so twice a month pretty much, we go through what's called a manifestation call. Now these are very unique. They're designed specifically for the mastermind, and they're super powerful because we're using the collective group energy to manifest your goals. Now, how has your experience been with those manifestation calls?
So, I mean, I love those. I was a little like, is this going to work at first? You know what I mean? Like, I know about all those things. I just had never spent a ton of time really like in tune in the way you taught us to kind of be in tune with it. And I think it goes back to all about your mindset, right?
Yeah.
Being open to it and having to shift the limit, your limiting beliefs. I mean, that it takes hard work to make money, that it, you know, that money, like understanding that if you get out of your own way, that the money will flow, and then, you know, asking for things that felt kind of silly to ask for. I think I did when I was out of town at the beginning of when I was on my trip, and I always remember we did one of those, and I said I wanted 30,000 by the end of March. And it's like, it feels silly. I'm going to ask for 30 grand or money or like whatever it is. It's just kind of weird. And you have to release like how it's going to happen. And I think that's, we all spend a million hours. How am I is that person going to pay? Oh my gosh. Is that it? And that's hard for me. I'm a former control freak. So I like, if I don't know where everything's coming from, it's good. Okay, let it go. Let it go. But that was, you know, when I did that, and then literally by the end of March, I think I made more than that.
Yeah.
The client that I had taken on and whatever. And I was like, I kind of said, oh my God, that actually worked. Like, oh, did that happen? That actually happened. So it's a matter of first, you have to believe in it, obviously, and you have to trust that it's going to bring you whatever piece of that, you know, that you need. And I think when we go through that and you having your visions about where you see us and kind of what it looks like, and, you know, I think people are like, oh, well, I did that and it didn't work. And I'm like, well, you were probably trying to control the outcome, right? And I feel like that's a big part of it. And just having to be like, I'm putting it out there. Listen, I may have wanted something by July this year, and it may not happen in July, but it'll happen at some point. I think it's just, sometimes you can't always control the timing of it. And that's the thing. You just have to put it out there and know that it's going to come at some point. And the more you release the control of it and how it's going to happen, the better it is. Yeah. I also love that aspect. I actually those are the ones I hate to miss the most, because I know, you know, those are hard to repeat once you have all of us on the line. So.
That has to be. I mean, the thing is, the clearings will be now recorded, and it will be the recording.
100% work. Like, you can do them as many times. You don't need to be live for that. That's the beauty of the clearings. I think that's the really cool part. Because for a while I was like, I love to be live, but there's times when you can't. Yeah. But the manifestations, I hate to miss those.
So you have to be. I mean, I always say that's why manifestation week, there's always two. We have one on the evening so it's in UK timing. So we have one UK evening, which allows people in the US and the Canada to join, and we have one in the daytime on Thursdays at lunchtimes, so that people in the Philippines or Australia and Asia and India, because we've got clients from everywhere, they can actually join. So we have, that's why we have two different set times. I specifically say, if you want if you want to get full benefit from it, you have to do the manifestation call live. There's no point in watching the replay, because I can't do the clearing, I can't do the manifestation for you. But the beauty of it is, the way this mastermind is designed, normally when you go through a process like this, your mind does play up like, okay, where's the money going to come from? What's going to happen? How it's going to happen? Because you're going through the clearing, because you're going through it's designed in a way that it will allow you to submit, surrender more to divine sovereignty, surrender more to the universe. And you find with the beginning of the year, it's more difficult to surrender. By a couple of months in, it's easier to surrender, and it's okay, fine. I trust divine energy. I trust the universal energy. I'm just going to ask for this and allow things to show up for me magically. And that's pretty much what happens. Yeah. And so this is part of the process. That's why this mastermind is super, super powerful, because designed in a way to train your mind to let go of that where, how, what, the logical side of it, and accept more the, what would I say, the woo-woo, the supernatural, or the divinity side of it. What do you say?
Yes, exactly. And that's, you're 6 months in, it's like, now I told you, like, I can't, like, I feel the energy all the time. Now it's really interesting. Like, whenever it's like tune in to tap it, like before you even start talking now, like my hands are tingly, like it's weird. Like I just know what's happening. So, and it used to take me a while. I used to be like, am I going to feel something?
Oh, that's amazing as well. Yeah, you weren't very in tune with the energy side, and now you can really feel, and you can feel the energy moving and shifting, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, us sitting there doing our manifestation, like we're holding our bot. Like you have no idea how many times my husband's walked by my office because I have French doors. He'll walk by and take pictures of us during the manifestation, like when he's sitting like this. He's always like, I don't know why you guys do. Like,
but it's working.
Yeah, like don't worry, it's working. He's started, like he gets it. He gets it. I mean, listen, he's from India. He should get it for the record.
Exactly. He should get it.
He really is like, I don't know what you guys are doing with Gull. So no, I mean, listen, this has been the best part of my journey this year. I think I knew I needed something different. So I think it's, people watching, if you're watching this in your, like, what do you need in your business? That's the most important part. Yeah. If you're still blocked and you have all the strategy, I mean, you got to look at a different way of doing things. Yeah. I just always say, trust yourself, like trust your gut, get on the call if you're curious, and, go from there. I mean, that's what I did, and here we are.
So I'm going to ask you this question now. If somebody is, because I'm, we talk about the mastermind a lot, but the mastermind does require commitment. And we've said this time and again, we started this conversation beautifully when you said you have to be consistent. Now, one of the best things about the masterminders that we have at the moment, and I specifically keep the group small for this reason, everybody in there is committed. They show up week after week after week. Okay. If they can't show up, they message me, say, go, I haven't turned up, but I'm going to do the clearing this week. And you've done this because obviously every life does take over. You have to make commitment.
All the different schedules.
But everybody turns up, and actually, the clearings they've actually listened to, they've caught up if they missed something, and the manifestation calls, which are really, really powerful, which are alternative week, people do come. So this does require time commitment. Obviously, financially, it's a financial commitment because it's not a low end product. It does require financial commitment, but also time commitment. So if somebody's saying the thing, you know what, I don't really have the time at the moment, or I just don't have the money at the moment. What would you say to somebody who's really interested, who's really fascinated, and who thinks, yeah, Gull can help me, but is not really sure they can give the time commitment or the financial commitment? What would you say to them?
You're not ready to up-level your business.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't sugarcoat anymore. I like, if you're not willing to put the time into changing something that's blocking you, or you're worried, like your business hasn't grown and that's, you're stuck, but you're not willing to put time and money into it, which is what it takes. Yeah. Something is free. I think people miss that boat. I'm like, you can't grow $1 million empire by not investing in yourself. You can't. You can't build a $100,000 empire without investing in yourself. I mean, I spent a lot of money on myself in the last year and a half. And yes, did it take, it's taken all this time to get in the right place, right? I would say I have not put any money anywhere, that wasn't a lesson, that got me the next piece along. Yeah. And this was the next piece for me. So I think it's really, that's why I always say, and I tell my clients this, but what do you need? Don't just hire somebody because they got, I'm like, sorry, I hear noise. I'm like, I think my dogs are destroying something. I'm like, what's going on? Don't, go invest in something because it's a shiny object and everyone else is doing it and that looks like it could be cool. If that's not the right place for your business, you really need to understand where you are, where's your business, and then what is that missing piece? Because if you're looking for the next mentor, the next thing, like most of us, I don't know any successful entrepreneur who does not have a mentor, who does not work in a group mastermind or something of the sort fairly consistently, to be honest, because I think at every level, we all need that help. Like, I don't ever want to not be surrounded with a bunch of other women who are like doing the same things that I am, and we're all working together on that. And I always know, like, when I'm ready for that next piece, like, I'm like, okay, I'm working on what does this look like to grow to multiple 6 figures. And then from there, I'm going to need somebody who's already grown to 7 figures to figure out what does that piece look like, right? Yep. There's always an element of the mindset that will come into play. So yeah, I just think if you're like, oh, I don't know if I have the time or the money, then you're not really serious about growing your business. That's real talk.
I agree. I think that when we talk about time commitment, it's 2 hours a week minimum, and then I think half an hour every day in the day, based 50 minutes in the morning, 50 minutes in the evening. Yeah, be consistent with it. So that's all the time required. That's time actually required. I think
you can put as much into it as you want too, right?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you can be extra. You can do extra, of course you can, but that's the minimum required. And if you don't see yourself doing that, then yeah, this isn't the program for you, and you're not ready for it. You're absolutely right. You're not ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I say. I mean, I don't want people to waste their money,
No.
whether it's on you or me or whatever. Like, don't waste your time. If you're not going to do the work, because that's a huge part of my program is you have to show up and do the work.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to give you the tools, but I can't go make the money for you, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I can't grow your business for you. I can just give you the tools and you have to go do the work. So I think that's really important. And people who get frustrated and they're like, well, I didn't get what I wanted out of that. And I always ask the question, like, it either wasn't, obviously there's two options. It's either not the right person for you to help you, or you didn't do the work, or a combo of both, right? So be mindful of that is what I always tell people.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us, Shannon. Thank you for sharing your experience. Tell us, Shannon, where can we find you? What's your social media handles? And do you have any freebie for us or anything at all for us?
So you can find me, my website is shannongarrisonnegi.com. Facebook, Shannon Garrison-Nagy. Instagram is Shannon_Nagy, because I did that a long time ago before I really started branding myself. I'm also on LinkedIn, Shannon Garrison-Nagy. And yeah, it's funny, I'm in the process of building a new freebie because I've realized that my other one is just old, but I do free 20-minute discovery calls to basically kind of see where you're at. So if anything I've said to you resonates and you're feeling like, yeah, I could use some more strategy, my network marketing business isn't growing or my business isn't growing. It's funny, I actually have regular business clients now too, brick and mortar businesses. So, we're working through strategy and all those things. If any of that resonated with you, reach out, let's set up a call and we'll chat about how I can help you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Shannon, for your
thank you so much for having me.
It's been an absolute pleasure. And you are, you're one of my, actually, I think I'm so blessed I get to work with such amazing women that when I look at each of them, I'm like, they're so inspirational. You're amazing. Linda's
that's how I feel about my clients too. I mean, I think that's the beauty of it. You attract the right people and we're all growing together. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've seen my growth as well, where I was, 6 months ago. I was doing pretty well and I've done phenomenal. I think the
last 6 months has been crazy. I'm very excited for what's coming. So, I mean.
And you guys get to be with us. So that's the beauty of it. So if you do come into the mastermind, by the way, it is something that we will be talking about, we're discussing on the phone. I don't let anybody into the mastermind. I have to make sure that you're right fit for the group because the group is really super powerful. If you're not the right fit, I'm not willing to allow any energy to disturb the collective group container. If you are the right fit, then you will be invited to join. And if you do join, you get to be with this really powerful set of women who are absolutely changing the face of the world. I'm not saying that as an overstatement. I really mean that. And to watch this space of the next 6 months.
I'm excited.
I'm really excited too.
The next 6 months is going to be crazy.
It will be. Thank you so much, Shannon. And everybody else, I'll see you next time with maybe a member of the mastermind. Until we meet again, take care, Emma. Bye.